What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Uncut Potential YouTube channel for another video. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about your internal dialogue as well as your most common repetitive thought patterns. Now, the reason why I feel inspired to talk about your internal dialogue because it is extremely important. It's going to be what determines whether you quit something or push through. It's going to determine what you attract into your life. And it's going to determine your entire physiology. Now, thinking about internal dialogue, it reminds me of in one of my earlier videos where I talked about my ayahuasca experience. Well, if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But if you have, you can understand when I say when I was at my ayahuasca retreat, I tried rapé, and a little breakdown or reminder about what it is. It's pretty much when they take this little flute and they blow tobacco up your nose. So anyway, when I had that done and I was going through all those intense feelings and sensations, that's one thing I do recall was when I was going through that, I'm on all fours, my whole body is shaking, I feel like I'm about to throw up and I'm feeling just terrible. My flight or fight response kicking in, and one thing I did take notice of was my internal dialogue. And immediately when that happened, my internal dialogue went to uplifting, positive, inspirational things. So externally, or it's really internal because it's all, I felt it all internally, but my body was going through the sensations of fear, anxiety, panic, all those just negative, low vibrating emotions. But my internal dialogue was that of encouragement. I was pretty much saying to myself, well, you got this. You're strong. You're tough. You spend years studying mental techniques, apply them, breathe, just a bunch of uplifting things. And it calmed me down. But the reason that my thought pattern was like this, my internal dialogue was like this, because I have programmed myself over the years to think positively, to have that uplifting dialogue. When I'm in new, unknown, uncomfortable, shitty situations, I always go within and tell myself positive things, words of encouragement, words of power, instead of what if this person thinks of me this way, or what if they perceive me this way, or what if I fail, and all of the negative things, or I'm probably finna die, or whatever it is. I strayed away from that and I program myself with positive things. So like I said, when shit hits the fan, what will your internal dialogue be? Because it's just going to revert back. Like in the military, there's a saying, I'm probably going to butcher it because this is off the cuff, but it's pretty much a saying like when shit hits the fan, you pretty much going to revert back to your training. You know, it's going to be like second nature, pretty much. It's going to be unconscious. So how is your internal dialogue training going right now? Because when shit hits the fan, that's what's going to kick in. It's going to be the program that's set in place. So if you're always thinking negative, talking negative to yourself, saying why me and victim mentality, then when shit hits the fan, shit gets hard, when you get tested and tried in this world, that's what's going to appear, the negative dialogue, as well as negative thought patterns. Because I mean, it's one thing to think it, it's another thing to say it to yourself, you know, especially when you're feeling discouraged, How's your thinking? How are the words you're saying to yourself? But yeah, like I said, rape, I did that, and all those positive things kicked in. So it helped me calm down my breathing. It helps me calm down my heart rate, because I'm pretty sure you can relate to this, but you can cause yourself to overthink things. You can cause yourself to raise your heart rate just by your thinking. You can create anxiety by your thinking. I mean, think of any fear you have that's not like a real threat. It's irrational. It's all made in your mind, but it changes your whole physiology. It changes your whole chemistry. It causes your heart to accelerate. It causes like sweat to produce. It causes all those things. Because I remember when I was driving from South Dakota to Arkansas, and I didn't stop. I didn't take a break, none of that. Just stopped to eat or piss or whatnot. But towards the end, when I became drowsy and pretty much my body was ready to shut down and go to sleep, in my mind, it started to drift. And I started producing thoughts of like, damn, man, I'm really like just in this small car, just covered by just a thin piece of metal. These drivers are driving crazy. What if they veer over and hit me? What if they're not looking? Blah, 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 blah. And then I started to induce anxiety within myself. And I picked up on that, and I immediately changed my thinking about it. And my heart rate slowed down. Or I've had times where I'm about to take a pre-workout, and it's a level scoop, and I'll take it, and I'll be drinking it, and then I'll start thinking, did I take too much of it? And then my heart rate would increase, and I'll get nervous, and I'll say to myself, like, chill out. That was a good amount. You always take that amount. You're good. And then the heart rate would slow down. So, how is your internal dialogue? How is your thought patterns? Because it can change your whole physiology. And when shit hits the fan, when shit's going terrible, that program is going to kick in. And if you've been fucking yourself over, then you're really going to be in some deep shit when shit hits the fan, because at that point, it's going to be hard to override. And the same thing goes with working out. When your internal dialogue is terrible, and then you're getting put in strenuous activities, strenuous situations, you're on a diet plan all of a sudden, or you're getting trained by somebody in the gym, that's when the internal dialogue comes in. It's going to say, quit, this is too hard, you try again tomorrow, you can't do this, you can't lose that weight, you can't, yada, yada, yada. But if your internal dialogue is powerful, if you're thinking like a god, if you're thinking massively, if you're thinking grand, then it's going to be, come on, you got this, this is nothing. Look at these people, they're going through the exact same thing you're going through. You could do it, or whatever your internal dialogue will be. So, I'm dropping this video to remind you to monitor your internal dialogue and your internal or your thought patterns. If it's negative, if it's not serving you, change them, get rid of them. And if it's amplifying you, if it is serving you, then encourage more of that. But that is all I wanted to share today. Check out your internal dialogue. But until next time, remember, freedom above all else. I'm out. Peace.